Honestly, I feel like LeBron, he's just not in the right era. And what I would say by that is that we're now currently, I mean, there's shows like ours, right? Where obviously we have it open for debate. We can agree and disagree all we want, and people are comfortable agreeing and disagreeing. That's just this era of what you see. You see the same thing in music with Drake. Everyone would see the name Drake and they'd say he's essentially been the most popular artist in any field, not just hip hop, right? So you're sitting there looking at him, but there are a lot of people who do not like Drake. They do not like his music, right? That is and you are a perfect example, and I totally understand why someone would feel that way. I personally like Drake. Is he my favorite? No. But he sells more albums than the Beatles, right? Is according to him. So, and that's true. Those are true numbers. But I say all that to say this. When Michael Jordan came up and he essentially took the world by storm in 1991 with the Chicago Bulls, you're looking at Michael. There was absolutely no one criticizing him. The first time Michael Jordan was criticized, a book was written called The Jordan Rules. And it was so groundbreaking for Michael to be criticized that Michael actually addressed the book. He actually took time out of his day to address this. Okay. I had Michael Jordan bed sheets. I had Michael Jordan bed sheets, wallpaper. I had a bed of Michael Jordan's face on it. Okay. That's not the way the world works today. The reason that today's athletes, today's musicians, today's anything are not considered as good as they were in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, and in particular the 90s, is because people were taught to treat things like it's the best. That's just what it was. In 1995, when Michael Jordan was winning, he was winning the NBA championship, he was the MVP, finals MVP, everyone thought Michael was the best. Everyone loved Michael Jordan, except for his competitors, which, by the way, people were literally calling Michael Jordan Jesus Christ on the floor. Larry Bird called Michael Jordan Jesus Christ. That is God on the basketball floor. Could you imagine another player? Could you imagine if Paul George came out and said, yeah, you know what? We thought we had him. We got to game 7 when I was in Indiana, but it just turned out Christ was out there. Jesus Christ showed up to the floor, and we just had no chance, right? Everyone today would look at that and say, he's yielding. He's completely yielding all control to another asset. He's essentially saying this other guy is so much better than us that there's nothing we can do in a couple of years when he actually gets talent around him. So I say all that to say this. LeBron James is in an era where we get very comfortable criticizing. We criticize LeBron all the time. Not just LeBron. We criticize Kevin Durant. We criticize Kobe Bryant. We criticize everybody. Of course, Kobe less so because he came up a little before LeBron James. So it's like the later you play, you're going to be criticized more. And you see it already today with Wemby. Wemby came up and played one summer league game, and every single soul was saying, I can't wait. I'm sure they're going to shut him down. He's no business on the NBA floor. I think Scoot Henderson's going to be a better prospect. Everyone couldn't wait to talk about it. That's the same phenomenon that LeBron James dealt with. He had expectation. Michael Jordan had no expectation. Michael Jordan came out and everyone said, he's a great prospect. He's coming out from a great coach, a Hall of Fame college coach, and he's coming out and we believe he can be a great player someday. And you even saw it for those who saw Air. Great film for anyone who hasn't seen it. And it's a biopic about Michael Jordan signing with Nike. Really good film. So that came out and he literally said, oh, yeah, they're going to give me a percentage of each shoe and all this stuff. And it was groundbreaking stuff. All the while, 35 years later, Michael Jordan could come out today and someone signs a shoe deal out of high school or college and he says they're giving all these kids money right out with guarantees, criticizing players, right? Openly criticizing players. So my verdict is this. LeBron James is considered the second greatest player of all time by most people, not all people, by most people, only because he came out in 2003 and not 1991. If the roles were reversed, we would be criticizing Michael Jordan for his inability to be a good teammate by punching Steve Kerr, for his inability to keep a coach when Doug Collins was fired. We would be criticizing Michael Jordan to the same degree that we criticize LeBron James, because we would be asking, is this the next LeBron James in Michael Jordan? So LeBron James is only the greatest player today. He's the greatest player of all time. And in 35 years, there will be another player who's better than LeBron James. We don't know who he is. Could be Wemby, could be Scoot Henderson. We'll see who that is. But that is my verdict.